Okay.
Yep.
What are they saying the theme should be?
Eli wants it to be spirit. Aiden wants it to be redneck, and then our other option that has been. This is our third poll we've done on Instagram, by the way.
Okay.
And frat has won all other polls. So.
Nice. Okay. Average value of a function. To find the average value of the function, you take the integral of the function from the points where we're at, and then we divide it by the difference of the points. Okay? That's the average value of a function. So to do this, when we integrate this, since it's a function that is has points, we don't need to see. So x cubed, and what would be the coefficient? 2x cubed plus 8x from 3 to 5 divided by 5 minus 3. So if we put in the 5, we get 2 times 125 plus 8 times 5 minus 2 times 27 plus 8 times 3 all over 2. 2 times 125 is 250 plus 40 is 290 minus 2 times 27 is 54 plus 24 is 78 divided by 2, which is 212 divided by 2, which is 106. Okay? So what one would this be? Well, we take the integral, the definite integral, from -5 to 9 of x to the 1/3 power. So if we do that, we get 3/4 of x to the 4/3 from -5 to 9, and then 9 minus a -5. So it's 3/4 of 9 to the 4/3 minus 3/4 of -5 to the 4/3 all over 14. All right. So basically, if we move the 4 to the bottom, it's 3 times 9 to the 4/3 power. We can't take the cube root of 9. That's just kind of ugly, right? So it's like that. And then if we move the 4 to the bottom, we get 56 on the bottom. So, and then factor out the 3. 3 over 56. So this looks like it would work because -5 to the 4th power is a +5 to the 4th. Is the same as +5 to the 4th. Another way of doing this is the cube root of 9 to the 4th is the cube root of 9 to the 3rd times 9. So this is really 9 times the cube root of 9 minus 5 times the cube root of, or Yeah, 5 times the cube root of 5, right? And the 3 on the outside, so that would make this 15, and that would make this 27. Well, it's still 5 here, 9 here, the 3 on the outside. I don't think there's any way we can get to here or here. Do you? I'm trying to think of how they would have had that 1/2 there. And I just don't see any way of getting there. So I think this is the right answer there. Okay, are we good? All right. Average value of this cosine function. So we integrate cosine of x from -2 to 7. So it is the sine from 7 to 2, -2. So it's the sine of 7 minus the sine of -2 all over 7 minus a -2. So it's a sine of 7 minus, what's the sine of a negative number? Since sine is an odd function, that negative comes out to the front to be positive. Do you remember even and odd functions from trig? So sine, cosecant, tangent, and cotangent are all odd functions. So the sine of -x equals negative sine of x. The cosecant of -x equals negative cosecant of x. For cosine, it's an even function. So the cosine of -x equals the cosine of x. Same with secant. So it'd be the sine of 7 plus the sine of 2 all over 9. So it'd be choice A because it's an odd function. Okay? So that's what we're doing on the first part. That's section 8.1. And then section 8.2, we're dealing with velocity and distance and acceleration and so on. Okay. A particle moves in a straight line with a velocity v sub t, where t is the time in seconds. At t seconds, the particle's distance from the starting point was 10 meters in the positive direction. What's a particle's position at t equals 9 seconds? Okay. I wonder if this is two different questions or what is going on here. Just a second. Let's put a pause on this for just a second, because I gotta look. I'm confuzzled. Okay. We're back. All right. So it's 10 meters in the positive direction. And then at t equals 2, it's 10 meters in the positive direction. What's a particle's position at 9 seconds? Now, if you remember, the first derivative of position equals what? What's the first derivative of position? The velocity. So if we have the velocity and we want to get to position, what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to integrate to get to position. Okay? So we want to know what happened from time equals 2 to time equals 9 seconds. So if we integrate from time equals 2 to time equals 9 seconds for the velocity and put the initial at 2 seconds, we were at 10, right? And then if we take the integral from 2 to 9 of the velocity, then we'll get to where we need to end up. However, whatever position we will be at. Do you get the basics of that? Okay? Because if we start out at 10 at the time equals 2 seconds, that's the 10 here. Okay? And then to find the rest of the position of where it went, we have to integrate the velocity from the velocity curve. And that's what it would be. Okay? Now, we're not actually doing it, but we're just finding the formula for that. Okay? So, a particle moves in a straight line with a velocity of this, where t is time in seconds. At 2, it was 5. What is the total distance traveled between 2 and 6? Well, we would start out at 5 at 2 seconds. And then we would add on the particle went from 2 to 6 seconds of the velocity of t squared, negative t squared, plus 8. Okay? Now, which expression would Alexei use to solve this problem? Okay? To do it, we would have to take the integral of 2 to 6 v of the velocity with respect to time, which is, I think, choice A. I don't think you have to take the absolute value of the velocity. Oh, the total distance. Okay, total distance is the absolute value because it's not a distance in a certain direction. Okay, the absolute value just gives the total distance. A distance in a certain direction could be positive or negative. That's when you don't use the absolute value. Okay? All right. A particle moves in a straight line with a velocity v sub t. At time equals 1, it's 2 meters in the positive direction. What's the displacement from 1 to 6? The displacement is how far it went. So it started at 2. And we want to know what its displacement is from 1 to 6. So if it started at 2, the displacement from 1 to 6 is without the absolute values. And now we're actually solving. So here's our velocity, time to 2, 3. The integral of t squared plus 3 from 2 to 3. So if we integrate this, this would be, what's the integral of t squared? 1/3 t cubed plus 3t from 2 to 3. So we stick in the 3. 3 cubed is 27. 1/3 of 27 is 9. Plus 9 if we stick in the 3. Minus 2 cubed is 8. Divided by 3 is 8/3. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. So it's 18 minus, if we make this thirds, 8/3 plus 18/3 is 24/3, right? No, that's not right. 26/3. There we go. So 18 is the same as 54/3, I think. So 54/3 minus 26/3 is 28/3. That's how many units. Here we go. Is it time already? All right, I'm doing one more question. Velocity of the particle is this. Okay? So if we integrate at time equals 4, the velocity position is 2. What is the position at any time t? So the integral of velocity is, this is t to the negative 1/2 right now. Okay? So if we integrate it, it would be t to the positive 1/2 with a 2 out in front, right? Plus c, because we don't know, because it's at any time. So, but if we know at time equals 4, the position is 2. So 2 is equal to 2 times 4 to the 1/2 plus c. 4 to the 1/2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 equals